Good evening. My name is Joe Sam Robinson. It's my pleasure to have with us tonight President Elkins. Welcome, President Elkins. You've really at a very important position right now at the university and this part of the world in general. And how long have you been in your present position?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me this evening, Dr. Robinson. I'm thrilled to talk about Mercer all the time.
Yes.
And I have been at Mercer. I'm starting my 26th year at the university.
Yes.
I'm also a very proud double graduate of Mercer,
double
so I'm
bear?
not even counting my undergraduate and first master's degree. But I have been president at Mercer since January 1st of this year. So
Wow.
we are 8 months in.
Well, that's great. And so,
Yes.
what do you think about it? I mean, it must have been quite. You sort of knew this was going to happen. I think that's a fair statement.
Yes,
But
yes.
How have you found it? 8 months. Normally, there are tremendous crises. Things happen. I mean, what's your impression of the first time here?
First of all, I have to give tremendous gratitude to my predecessor, Bill Underwood,
Yes.
whom you know very well.
Yes.
You certainly have served alongside of us at the university as a trustee, and certainly part of what you do is very important to Mercer as well. You saw Bill Underwood, and he prepared me, I think, as much as any university president could be prepared. And because of that, and because of the work that we had done for 20 years with Bill, I was on Bill's executive cabinet for 18 of the 20 years that he was at Mercer. And so I learned so much from him, of course, and his leadership. And so operationally, I feel very prepared to lead the university. And I have to say that Mercer University is in such tremendous momentum. We are building on. We're standing on those shoulders of those giants, and we are. I mean, we have just concluded an amazing move-in weekend for our new students this past Friday and Saturday. We had fall convocation at the university yesterday with a record class again.
Well, tell me about that. Record class, so
absolutely.
That's a rather competitive thing.
It is incredibly competitive. This is our third year that we have been over 1,000 new freshmen, and with transfer students over 1,100. This is the third year of that record, and this year is the largest class that we've ever had in terms of the new freshmen and transfer students coming into the university. So again, tremendous momentum overall at all of the campuses of Mercer throughout the state of Georgia, and there are 8 different locations. Sometimes we miss that because we're of course here in Macon on the residential campus. But overall at Mercer, we anticipate record enrollment for the university as well. So we are in a very strong position. I love to say that Mercer is in tremendous momentum and that we are the most impactful private research university of our size in the United States.
Well, bonsai. That's right.
That's right,
here in Macon, Georgia. Well, that's a good story. That's a good story.
It's a great story because it's true, and we have those proof points to support that. And you've heard me say that often.
I've heard that.
Yes.
And around the state, I mean, I think maybe Mercer doesn't get enough credit, if I could say that, not understanding its impact on the whole state, particularly in regards to medicine. I mean, there's huge medical school class in 3 locations. Is that right?
Well, we're expanding that as well. So let's talk about that in terms of our impact. When we talk about impact, the medical school in particular is the mission of our Mercer University School of Medicine is to serve rural and underserved areas of Georgia. So we're very careful about where we go, who invites us into the community, how we partner with them. So we obviously have on this campus at our Macon location, we are building a brand new medical school at downtown Macon, and you know very much about all of that, and we're so excited about that location. So Macon is one location. We have a medical school location in Savannah, We have one in Columbus, Georgia.
Yes.
We have a 2-year program in Valdosta. So the 3rd and 4th year clinical preparation in Valdosta, and they've already started talking to us about expanding that to a 4-year program.
Right.
And then something you might not know yet is we just opened this past July, so last month, a new clinical campus at Tanner Medical in Carrollton, Georgia.
Wow.
So now we have a 3 and 4 year old.
So you really
program in
sort
Carrollton.
of cover the old Atlanta Journal motto was we cover Dixie like the Dew.
Absolutely.
So you can maybe say Mercer covers the state and really all over.
We truly do.
There's a huge campus in Atlanta, too.
That's right. There's a huge, in addition to the medical school locations. I mean, if you look at a map, you can literally see Mercer throughout the state of Georgia.
Right.
So in addition to those, and those were, quote, just medical school locations that I just noted, but we also have a very large graduate and professional campus in Atlanta, above downtown Atlanta.
Yeah, very nice, too.
It's a very lovely campus,
nice,
over 200 acres, great, area for students to learn and engage with our professors. And then we have a location in Henry County, Douglas County, and the Mercer Engineering Research Center, which is obviously right below us in Warner Robins.
That's a big deal. We could just go in any direction on all of these events, but engineering is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Engineering school is a big deal, and you have a lot of connections with Warner Robins, is that right? And with the feds?
We do. So when we, Mercer, Joe Sam, we like to fill needs that are unmet. And so when people come to us, it happened, our state legislature came to us with the medical school and said, we need doctors for rural and underserved areas. Will you establish a medical school? We said yes, we could do it.
Which was incidentally quite a political. It wasn't an easy.
It was not. It was the most difficult.
All these events are very difficult.
You better believe it. When I spoke with Kirby Godsey, our Chancellor Emeritus, who was my president at Mercer, by the way, when I was a student, I had a great conversation with him recently, and he was talking about the 2 most difficult things he did were start that medical school and the School of Engineering, which is what I'm about to speak about as well. So Robins Air Force Base, the general, the commander at Robins Air Force Base, came to Dr. Godsey in the mid-'80s and said, we need engineers to support our mission at Robins Air Force Base. So again, we stood up a School of Engineering in the mid-1980s, and that was the primary purpose at that time. Now, of course, our purpose is expanded throughout the state of Georgia, this region, and our nation. But we still serve that mission of providing engineers for Robins Air Force Base. 25% of the engineering workforce at Robins Air Force Base are Mercerians. They're Mercer graduates. So we have fulfilled that mission, and we're continuing to do so.
Well, there are a lot of encumbrances in doing this. A lot of challenges, a lot of stuff is out there. Humans being what they are, that's not unexpected.
That's right.
What is the reason Mercer is so successful in recruiting students? And many places don't fare nearly as well. And Mercer's climbing its way up in the academic ladder.
We really are.
What do you think the cause is that such success? I know you know a lot about it, but the success.
Certainly. At the end of the day, I think students are looking for a certain academic program, and Mercer has. There are really 3 answers to your question. One, we obviously, to get their attention, we have to have the academic program that they're looking for. The good news about that is Mercer, in terms of the breadth and depth of academic programs, this goes back to my statement about we're the most impactful. There's not another private research university of our size in the United States with the academic enterprise that we have. They might have a medical school, but they don't have medicine and law. They might have medicine and law, but they don't have medicine, law, engineering, and pharmacy, and so forth. So in terms of the 12 colleges and schools, there's not another Mercer. So we have the academic enterprise. And then once we get their attention with that and get them on campus, Joe Sam, every single time It is all about the culture, the people of the university, and their service ethos, wanting our students to be successful.
Yes.
Yesterday, we welcomed all of our new freshmen in convocation. Our faculty,
yes,
tenured professors, we don't have teaching assistants, tenured and non-tenured professors are lining the hall.
Wow.
And welcoming the students by clapping and
isn't
welcoming them
Isn't that great?
to Mercer
That's
University. And it's that kind of attention that our faculty give, the challenge that they give, the research opportunities that our faculty and staff give. That really promotes our great enrollment.
Well, great. Well, that's a good opportunity for me to segue into the football team.
Oh, yes, of course.
I hope you're ready for that.
Always ready for football.
Okay. Mercer's done extremely well, and actually, I must say, it's a real sort of, a point of campus pride, and indeed for the whole community.
It is.
I mean, and so. We have a new coach.
We do.
How do things look? And have you any speculations on that?
Of course.
You better win. You better have a good football team. You know that, right?
So we have a new coach, but he's not new. He was at Mercer under Drew Cronick, Coach Cronick. Right. Coach Joel Taylor went to West Georgia.
Yes.
He had a very strong career at West Georgia, a winning career, and we brought him right back home to Mercer. And I have to say that not only do we have a new football coach, you also know that we have a new athletics director in Brian Garrity. And so I am speaking with Brian and Coach Taylor almost every single day.
You probably know more about football than you'd like to know. But in any event,
I actually love football. I loved learning about what Coach is doing. And I'm out there on the field quite often watching the players and get their preparation. But this is something really important that our community needs to know about. I do believe that kind of athletics energy also draws students to Mercer, by the way.
Right. That's what point.
That's exactly right. They get excited about that culture and the energy and there's just nothing like college athletics on a college campus.
That puts the students all in one.
Yes, that's right. And so and I hope our viewers know that Mercer has, in football, we have already won back-to-back Southern Conference championships, outright championships.
The Southern Conference is a very historic, famous football conference.
It is. You're
very
exactly
famous,
right.
It's
famous. The oldest in this region, and it is a stellar conference. And we are very proud to be champions, two-time champions.
That's quite an honor, right?
And I told Coach the other day, speaking of always wanting to win, I had on my championship necklace.
Right. Oh, really?
And I said, you know what I want? And he said, another one. And I said, that's exactly right. So we're going for 3 this year.
Good.
But the very important thing that I would love to tell our Macon community in this region, Middle Georgia region, is that the first FCS football game being televised in the nation is going to be right here at 5 Star Stadium. We're the kickoff game for ESPN. They will be on our campus on August 29th. Wow. It's actually week 0, so it's the first game to be televised. We're the first football program, FCS football program in the state of Georgia and the nation to be on national television. Wow. So we need our Middle Georgia community to show up.
How about a big victory? Similar to Mercer's victory over Duke in basketball.
Oh, I love that. Yes, that really, never gets old.
That's right. Wherever you go, people sort of talk about that. Well, there are other sports too. I mean, how many? And there's sports for the ladies, shall I say?
You better believe it. We have 18 intercollegiate teams at Division I that we field at Mercer.
Right.
And I want to brag about our women's lacrosse. So let's talk about the women
for
just a
game,
moment.
Right?
It is.
Yeah,
you think they're walking around. Yes.
No,
they're serious. Those are athletes. They're scholar athletes. And we don't talk a lot about lacrosse, so I want to talk about it. But our women's lacrosse team has won their championship, not 1 time, not 2 times, not even 3 times. We're now on the 8th time in a row.
Wow.
Those scholar athletes and those young women are smart. Their GPA is higher than
of course
the non-athletes, and they are just fantastic scholars. And I'm so proud of those ladies and Coach Samantha Eustace, who is the coach of that women's lacrosse
Well,
team.
that's great. There shouldn't be any schism between the brain and the rest of the body.
That's
if
exactly
I can say
right.
It that way.
Yes.
I mean, really, you have to be able to walk around easily.
That's right.
And then read a book easily. Those are good attributes.
Right.
And I know there are all kinds of honors that have come to Mercer graduates, if I can recollect that. Goldwater scholars.
Yes. So you mentioned engineering, so I do want to circle back
let's
to
talk
that
about
and talk
that.
about the Goldwater scholars.
Right.
So our engineering, I was saying, of course, about the history of the engineering program. But today, our engineering program, and again, because of the faculty, because of the leadership in our School of Engineering, we at Mercer University have more Goldwater scholars. So for our viewers, that is the top scholarship in the sciences, the STEM fields. Usually 1% to 2% of applicants actually receive the Goldwater, so it's incredibly prestigious and competitive. So Mercer University School of Engineering over the last decade has more Goldwater scholars in engineering than any other program in the United States.
How is that possible?
So that, to be clear, more than MIT, more than Caltech, more than our friends up the road in Atlanta at Georgia Tech.
Wow.
We are so proud of that. How is that possible? It goes back exactly to what I said a moment ago. So these faculty in our School of Engineering are sitting there and they're teaching the freshman engineering courses.
Right.
And they are, because our small class sizes and the relationships our faculty have with our students, they immediately see the propensity for research. And so our students are starting their research in engineering as freshmen and sophomores. So that just does not happen in the academy. And they have access to full-time faculty in so doing. So to get a Goldwater, you actually have to present your research to the Goldwater selection committee. And because our students are working alongside the faculty at a very, early start in their college career, they're able to do that.
Well, I'll use some big words slightly, but we have deductive reasoning, where you're in there. It's like learning geometry. That's the answer. You just memorize this, but memorize that, and then get the answer.
Yes.
And then the inductive is you've got to think.
Yes.
So inductive is, let's see, there's something else going on. And how can I probe what this other variable is?
Yes.
And so that's at a very high intellectual level to do that.
Yes.
And Mercer's students can do that. And I've impressed about not only in engineering, but other projects that are out there. Chemistry, doing some chemistry issues. I mean, it's very impressive, really.
Yes.
It's really, I think, a real advantage of Mercer is having that sense of culture to do that, as opposed to just going in and memorizing something.
That's right.
There's a lot more than that.
And that really does exemplify the Mercer education. These students are so bright and talented. They could go anywhere.
Yes.
But they choose to come to Mercer because they are challenged. They are challenged to not just regurgitate, 5 facts about, whatever. Literally to use that inductive thinking as you're describing, and then apply it to real world problems.
Yes.
That's what we're doing through the Goldwater Scholarship. That's also what these students are engaging in our signature program called Mercer on Mission.
Okay, here's the football. All right, run with it. Run with the football on Mercer on Mission. It's really extraordinary, isn't it?
It is extraordinary. And I have to say that this is our 20th year of Mercer on Mission. This is our anniversary year. Yes. And so we are sending, and for the viewers, we send teams of faculty and students who are invited in to a country around the developing world. Right. This last summer, we sent 16 teams out. This upcoming summer, of course, we're going to send 20 out for our 20-year anniversary. Wow. But our students, and to be clear, this is not study abroad. I mean, these students are very focused. I've been on Mercer on Mission with students. They're very focused on solving a real-world problem. So they're using the kind of thinking you're talking about, whether they're in engineering or chemistry or Spanish or what have you. They're using those skills to then help to solve a real world problem in a community. And there's no other program like that. This Mercer on that, if I had to say, in terms of the culture of the place and the package of, we've got the academics, we've got the athletics, we've got that.
Right.
But it's the service ethos on campus that really defines Mercer. And that is, yes, you will be bright and talented, and you are. You will be incredibly successful, of course, but then we expect that you're going to do something that matters in the world with that success, that you will be successful, but then understand that the world is bigger than just you, and it is your responsibility to serve others.
That's a good thing to be imprinted in a young person's head.
Yes.
And I think, if I could say this, when people say, well, I've been abroad or whatever, well, that means I spent 6 weeks in Paris or something. That was well, what's that like? It's just sort of the same level of civilization. I don't want to be too praise the French too much.
That's right.
I'll be restrained, and I don't want to praise them too much. But if you really go to, say, Vietnam and try and do something with landmine victims, which is an extraordinary thing, really extraordinary.
It is.
I mean, the people, these landmines were implanted, people were blown up there, and then they lose their lower extremities or leg. And just getting an artificial leg is quite a task. And the Mercer people have done that, and they've done thousands of things like this, and it really is an extraordinary. It's worthy of great attention. And I think also with gold miners, is that right? Gold mining.
It is.
So what's the story with gold mining?
That was the story I went on. Can I say a word about the landmine victims? Then I want to go to gold mine, but. That was our first Mercer on Mission project, was going to Vietnam and developing a low-cost prosthetic for those
if something here costs thousands,
$25,000 to $50,000 and our students developed a prosthetic, a low-cost, durable prosthetic in the lab right over here on campus, by the way. And then they take those prosthetics and out into to Vietnam, and literally set up a tent or a small area out in the fields of Vietnam. And individuals, Joe Sam, will literally drag themselves in with just the remaining, stump of the leg. And our students get to sit there in front of a real human being and fit the prosthetics that they developed. Wow. And today... This was the first program we've ever done, and we've done it consistently year over year. And today we have fit 25,000 amputees.
And that's life-changing.
25,000
people
extraordinary,
are walking isn't it? That's really extraordinary. That's very extraordinary. And
that's the kind of education that we have
worthy.
At Mercer.
Well, I mean, it goes to Mercer's moralistic roots, if I can say that.
Yes, sure.
I mean, that's really it's a place for moral behavior, inculcating moral behavior.
Yes, absolutely.
So much so that people, at least in the past, thought football didn't comport with that.
But
I believe it works out fine. I don't think we have to feel
That's right. Speaking of that behavior, and you know this well, but we have these orange banners that are ubiquitous across all of Mercer's campuses in the state of Georgia. And it really does very simply state what you're describing right now. And it says, at Mercer, everyone majors in changing the world.
Yes, right.
And one would look at that and say, well, that's quite audacious.
I'll add for the better.
That's exactly right. Yes.
I'll add that to it.
For the better. You better believe it.
The assumption is
so
for the better.
Whether these individuals are, going on Mercer on mission or in big and small ways, they are world changers and really leaning into that service ethos. I did want to say just a moment about gold mining because you brought that up.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
This is a really important one. It was actually really important to me. Yes. I went on that trip because I was quite curious in terms of what was happening. In this case, it was Ecuador, in Zaruma, Ecuador.
Yes.
And we took a group of 40 students over there. And to your point, I mean, we were up at 5 a.m. We were eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. This is not,
this is not strolling down the Champs-Elysees.
Correct. But these students were so focused on solving the problem. So the mayor of the town had actually invited us in because he said that their 6, 7, and 8-year-old children, you will know this well, were having some sort of cognitive decline.
Right. Heavy metal intoxication.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they didn't understand that when these artisanal gold miners who were literally just going to a local mine, if you can imagine, just a local cave, and they were mining an amalgam from that area, bringing it back to, in many cases, their homes.
Yes.
Over an open fire,
right,
and using mercury.
Right.
If you put mercury in with it
the
immediately
fumes,
separates the gold from the rest of the amalgam, so
Right.
you get the gold more quickly.
Right.
But it also releases toxicity in the
Right.
air.
It's actually mercury toxicity,
yes,
and that's right,
yes.
and it can injure the kidneys, the brain.
Yes.
It's a real bad thing, and.
So I will never forget that we were walking down the streets of Zaruma, and our chemistry students were holding a Lumex device, and they were showing me how to do it. But we wanted to get a baseline of the toxicity in the air. And we were at a place, I will never forget, in downtown Zaruma, and the Lumex device started alarming. And I thought I'd done something wrong. I said, oh, goodness, what did I do? And they said, oh, no, Dr. Elkins, that means that it is incredibly toxic in this area and we need to leave.
Right.
And Joe Sam, it was right across from the elementary school.
Of course. And actually, I'll make a comment about this. A lot of gold the value is ups and downs, but it's up a lot. And so that encourages third world countries just to get this gold however you can do it.
That's right.
And the way this happens is not good. And I'm not sure the governments in these third world countries are too aggressive about intervening on this, but it's not a good situation. And making that effort.
Our students over there, which we then worked to develop and build a mercury capture system. It is a tabletop device. We taught the community how to use it. It actually takes the vaporized mercury and converts it back into liquid form.
Yes.
So these are the brilliance of these students who are doing this. Wow. And now they can do their gold mining as long as they use it appropriately. And so we are out there changing the world in those ways, and we're so proud of that.
Well, that really it's hard to just pick one topic to stay on, but I'll give you one as we conclude our interchange. But so, what do you see in the future? What projects are coming down the board? I mean, there's so many of them.
There are
anything that's medicine is out there, rural health care, all these new things that can be real positive. And any comments?
I would love to make one final comment about that. Yes, and we are continuing on our mission to increase impact for students, to expand and enhance the academic enterprise, and to amplify the Mercer story. The one primary reason that we can increase impact for students is really in providing the environment on the Macon residential campus that really the students and their brilliance demands. And that is, we are building a brand new student life center in the middle of our campus. You might recall that we all this summer, we had a building, Connell Student Center, which many of us, when I went to Mercer, we loved it. But we decided that we could not repair that building and refurbish it really to the point of excellence that Mercer strives for. And so we have taken that building down. It is completely flat right now, and we are building a new student life center with elevated dining options, lots of collaborative space for students in terms of studying, developing belonging and sense of place. And we're so thrilled. It's almost like a large campus living room in the middle of our campus. So that will be done in fall of 2028, which is the same time our new medical school building.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. And now one final comment from me is on nursing. Now, nurses are so important.
Yes.
And it really is a nursing shortage. We just need nurses. And something positive has happened in regards to nursing school here.
You better believe it. And it is growing, by the way. Heretofore, we had only had our nursing program on the Atlanta campus for a myriad of reasons. 2 years ago, we decided that we would offer an option to do the nursing program here in this region, for your very point, because of the workforce needs for nursing, and in Atlanta. So now we have two options. That program is growing. We just pulled the numbers on that, and we're up by 13% in our nursing. I went to greet all of those new students, by the way, and the room was packed. I could not get another student in that room. Right. So lots of energy around that, and we will continue that right here in this region.
Well, we sort of run around the bases here. There's a lot. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Well, as a well-wisher, spectator about how things are going. I'm very impressed with how things are going forward. And you've got the football, so to speak, and score some more touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, thanks. Yes. Okay. Well, all right. We'll have you back. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.